I remember when I ended up going into my girlfriend's room, I ended up basically going in there and not being able to see her. And when I called out for her name, she ends up coming out of the closet and she was wrapped like a Christmas present. And at that moment, I knew this present definitely wasn't from Santa. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name is Bubba, and welcome back to another crazy, but I gotta say, pretty embarrassing story. So today's story all takes place back in my high school years, and I want to say this was my grade 10 year. Now, in grade 10, I was known as like a major player. Like, no joke, I would basically do whatever walk. But for some reason, towards the holiday season is when everything starts to change. And no, I don't mean the weather, I just mean the season of cuffing. If you guys don't know what cuffing season is, basically it's the season where everyone just randomly starts getting into relationships, even if they know themselves that it wouldn't last. And I remember me, since it was cuffing season, a lot of my sneaky links were getting into relationships. So at that moment, I decided that maybe I should as well get into a relationship. So I ended up going to one of my sneaky links in the middle of the hallway towards the winter season. And I walked up to her saying, hey, like, I was just wondering, what are you doing tomorrow? Oh, I can come over if you want. Yeah, that would be cool. But like, I was just wondering if like, you know, you want to maybe go on like an actual date. Is Bubba really asking me out right now? Like, for real? You want to like actually like go out? Yeah, I don't see why not. Okay, yeah, sure, we can go on a date, is what she says to me. And I remember I was actually pretty excited because, as you guys may know, I'm already a helpless romantic, so going on a date with a girl was something that I didn't get to do that often. Yeah, I pulled a lot of girls, but going on actual proper dates with them was something I never got the opportunity to do as much because, well, I always ended up just aiming for the devil's tango. And once it happened, I would basically stop trying. But I remember I had a date with this girl that was already my sneaky link, so I already knew she was into me. And I remember the next day when it was time for our date, me and her actually started going out. We ended up going out more than once, and funny enough, one thing led to another. When it became December, it finally ended up happening where we actually started dating. I asked her to be my girlfriend, and yeah, we basically got into a relationship. I remember a lot of my school was really surprised that I got into a relationship, but to be fair, I understood why, because, well, like I said earlier, I was usually known as a massive player. But this is where everything starts to get a little insane, because I remember Christmas was coming up, and knowing that the holiday season is coming up really gets me excited. I love Christmas, and I remember I was planning on getting my girlfriend something that she would like. So I ended up getting the one thing that I knew she would definitely like, and that was basically a necklace with my initial on it. Why? Well, I don't know. I didn't know what else to get her, to be honest, and why not get something that reminds her of me? Like, I'm the best thing that probably ever happened to her. But I remember when I picked up her gift, I ended up going to school that day, and I walked up to her saying, hey, like, I just want to let you know, like, I got your Christmas present. Wait, seriously? You got me a gift this year? Wait, what'd you get me? Well, I can't tell you that. You have to wait till Christmas. Oh, okay. Well, like, what do you want for Christmas? I don't know. And I just ended up walking away. When I said I don't know, I could just see the look on her face, because I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to buying me gifts, it's like almost mission impossible. Because back when I was in high school, I basically almost had everything I would want. Since I had a job back then and everything, I was able to buy myself whatever I needed or I wanted. So knowing this, I remember she had a really hard time trying to figure out what I want, to the point where she would actually go up to my friends and ask them, but my friends also didn't know what I wanted. To be fair, it's well known in my household and also between all my friends that I'm one of the hardest people to go shopping for, because, well, no one really ever knows what I want. But knowing this, I remember there was one time when me and my girlfriend ended up going on a date together. We ended up going on a date and we started doing a walk around the park where there was like Christmas lights set up, so it was really romantic and nice. And I remember as me and her were walking, she ends up looking at me and she kept asking me over and over, oh, so like, babe, what do you want for Christmas? Hey, you should like definitely tell me what you want for Christmas. Hey, so like, I was thinking for your Christmas present. And every time she would ask me, I would do one of two things. One, I would either totally ignore her, or two, I would just say, oh, to be honest, all I want for Christmas is you. To basically quote the Mariah Carey song that is super well known throughout Christmas time. I remember to her, it got super annoying and she got super pissed off until out of nowhere, she ended up actually smiling. I had no idea why, but apparently she said to me, oh, you know what? I think I know what you want for Christmas. And that's when she smiled really weirdly at me and basically ended up saying, okay, you know what? I think we should head home now. At that moment, I remember me and her, we ended up just going back to her place and doing the devil's tango. And then the next day is when things got really weird because it was like 3 days before Christmas. And I remember me and her, we ended up going to the mall to do our final Christmas shopping. But what this girl ended up picking up for me was the most insane thing ever, because I remember she ended up saying, oh, Bubba, I need to go pick up wrapping paper. Yeah, sure. And I remember me and her, we ended up going to a store that sold a lot of wrapping paper. But the craziest part was that when we went to the section to pick up wrapping paper, she ended up picking up a lot more than I expected. Like, no joke, like you could wrap like 30 bodies with this wrapping paper. I was really confused on why, but then afterwards, she ended up telling me, oh, it's just your present is like really like big. Wait, what? How big's the present? Because she picked up enough to basically wrap a whole car. But I remember at that moment, we ended up getting inside my vehicle with all this wrapping paper, and I dropped it off at her place, and she took all the wrapping paper inside. At that moment, I wanted to go inside with her and see what she was gonna wrap, but obviously, the golden rule is I have to wait till Christmas, so that's what I did. I remember the next day after Christmas, after celebrating it with my family, I ended up going to my girlfriend's house, and right as she answers the door, I ended up giving her the necklace that I ended up buying her. She was really excited and really happy, and she put it on right away and kissed me. But then afterwards, she said, okay, Bubba, I'm gonna need you to stand out here for like 20 minutes. Why? Well, your present's really big, so I gotta make sure like it's like super ready. Okay, is what I said. And I remember I ended up sitting down in the living room waiting. It got to the point where I actually ended up staying in the living room for over an hour. And in my mind, I ended up texting my girlfriend that was downstairs in her bedroom saying, hey, like, is the present ready? Question mark. But she wouldn't reply. It got to the point where I thought she maybe even left the house. But then one thing led to another. I remember her mom ends up walking into the living room and she just sees me there saying, oh, hey, Bubba, what are you doing here? Oh, just waiting for, you know, your daughter. She's downstairs getting my Christmas present. Oh, yeah. I totally forgot what she was doing for that. You know, I think you're able to go down there whenever you want. Oh, is she ready for me? Well, I mean, like, either way, like, it's nothing new. It's nothing new? At that moment, I really wanted to know what my gift was, so I ended up going down the stairs. And when I finally got to her room, I saw that she wasn't even there. I was so confused, and that's when I ended up saying her name, and that's when she came out. She came out of the closet, fully wrapped in wrapping paper. Like, full on wrapped, like a mummy. And she walks up to me saying, Bubba, sit on the bed. Okay, is what I said to her really awkwardly. And when I sat on the bed, she ended up laying beside me. And that's when she said, okay, Bubba, open your gift. And when I opened it, well, I think you guys can understand what it was. But let's just say she took All I Want for Christmas Is You, literally. It was actually super insane and super hilarious. And I gotta say it was super cute. Even though it was super hard for me to figure out what I wanted for Christmas, I gotta say her gift was probably one of the best gifts ever. Because, well, who's gonna argue with doing the Devil's Tango? But I mean, to be fair, if you guys don't believe the story is real, then follow for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.